My name's Rafael Rafe Jimenez, 45, former Army intelligence, now working in federal logistics. I bought a fixer-upper in a quiet neighborhood called Larkspur Meadows, thinking I'd spend my weekends renovating in peace. To help with the work, I brought in a few friends, all federal agents like me, lending a hand on their time off. Nothing shady, just drywall, flooring, and a lot of coffee. The kind of neighborhood where all the mailboxes are identical and lawn heights are practically measured by laser. Enter Deborah Calloway, president of the HOA, self-appointed neighborhood watch, patriot with a passion for binoculars. She had a reputation for vigilance. Once reported a pizza delivery guy because his name tag said Mike, but he looked Mediterranean. You get the picture. The moment she saw my crew, boots, tool belts, fluent Spanish, you could almost hear the gears grinding in her head. The campaign began. It started with photos from her upstairs window, anonymous HOA complaints, a loud alto yelled from across the street in what sounded like Spanish with a southern drawl. My team, all professionals, found it hilarious. Agent Vasquez said it sounded like she was ordering tacos through a sinus infection, but the humor faded as the harassment escalated. She began timing their lunch breaks, claiming they were loitering on American property. She asked Agent Torres if his burrito had unapproved spices. He nearly choked laughing. Then came the notes under my door. "We speak English in Larkspur Meadows. This isn't Tijuana. I will not tolerate undocumented labor on my cul-de-sac." Typed in Comic Sans because even her intolerance needed flair. She started dropping fake ICE business cards in my mailbox with notes like, "They're watching," and aimed her Ring doorbell straight at my driveway. On Facebook, she created a group called Larkspur Security Watch, posting blurry photos of my team with captions like, "Suspicious activity." Mrs. Patterson from down the street commented, "Deborah, that's Raphael's drywall crew. They fixed our ceiling fan last week." Then came the tipping point. She showed up at a taco truck one afternoon, demanding to see the owner's papers and threatening to report foreign food operations. The owner, Carlos, a retired Navy vet, told her exactly where to take her complaint, in English and Spanish. Another day, she blocked my crew's van with her SUV, declared ICE had been notified, and shouted, "I'll get cited for America." Agent Morales, drywall still on his gloves, calmly pulled out his badge and said, "Ma'am, Immigration Task Force, you're interfering with a federal agent." Deborah froze. Her phone slipped from her hand. This is a setup." "No, ma'am. This is drywall." She demanded more proof. Agent Torres, still holding joint compound, stood and said, "Ma'am, I've been documenting federal crimes for 15 years. Want me to add obstruction to your list?" She asked what crimes. He started listing. Harassment based on national origin, trespassing, filing false reports, mail tampering. Turns out my crew weren't just lending a hand. They were part of an interagency logistics program using downtime for community training. All certified, all documented, all very familiar with harassment laws. Agent Vasquez had been taking notes. Every trespass, every comment, in a black notebook that would make any civil rights lawyer proud. I filed a formal complaint. The HOA board, already tired of Deborah's vigilance, suspended her. Apparently, she'd previously tried to report a Methodist church for suspicious bell-ringing patterns. Then the feds came knocking. A real ICE liaison and a DOJ civil rights officer paid Deborah a visit. She tried to explain it all away as concerned patriotism. Agent Kelly, the DOJ officer, wasn't having it. She told Deborah, "Reporting federal agents to their own agency? Not smart. Filing false reports? Felony. Harassing workers based on national origin and ethnicity? Very illegal." She claimed she was protecting property values. Kelly pulled out a thick file and started reading her past complaints aloud. Accused the mailman of route deviations, reported barbecue smoke as foreign air particles, demanded to inspect a Girl Scout troop's cookie inventory for contraband Thin Mints. 20 minutes of this. Word got out fast. Someone put up a yard sign. "My lawn crew is legal. Are you? Another, let freedom ring, but not Deborah's doorbell. Her husband started mowing the lawn himself, visibly uncomfortable. Her kids stopped coming outside. She tried to hold a neighborhood safety rally. 3 people showed up. Her husband, her son, and Mrs. Henderson, who thought it was a bake sale. When Deborah launched into her foreign infiltration speech, her teenage son stood up and said, Mom, these are federal agents. You're embarrassing the family. Even her husband nodded. The end? Pretty much. The HOA held an emergency vote. Deborah voluntarily resigned 2 weeks later after a unanimous vote of no confidence. The final straw? She tried to report my crew again, but dialed the Department of Agriculture by mistake. She spent 45 minutes describing suspicious agricultural workers to a very confused corn subsidy specialist. The call recording somehow made it into our neighborhood group chat. Agent Morales, still working on my cabinets, played it back for her on my security camera speaker and said, Ma'am, we grow democracy here, not corn. Larkspur Meadows is peaceful again. My walls are up. My crew's work is flawless, and Deborah, last we heard, she's on a long digital detox and off all community boards. I call that progress.